I greet you all, viewers, and welcome to one of the series of novel online lessons. My name, as usual, is Mr. Ogochukwu. Today, we want to take a look at a very important aspect of English language. As you can already see advertised on the board, we want to talk about nominalization of verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. So naturally, the first question that arises is, what is nominalization? And by way of an answer, nominalization is the process of converting other parts of speech to nominals. The process of converting other parts of speech to nominals. Or we can say the process of deriving nominals from other parts of speech. A second question is, what are nominals? Now let me illustrate this by making our first sentence. This sentence says, the baker supplies loaves to the community. We can segment this sentence into a number of units. The baker, loaves, the community. The parts that I have underlined are noun forms. These are the parts in the sentence, the units in the sentence that function as nouns. In other words, they stand for names of things, names of people. They are referred to as nominals. Nominals are nouns and other words and group of words that can stand for nouns and perform the functions of nouns in sentences. So in this example, the baker, loaves, and the community are noun forms, so we refer to them as nominals. So nominals are noun forms. And so when we talk about nominalization, we mean deriving nouns from other parts of speech. Deriving nouns from adjectives, deriving nouns from verbs, and deriving nouns from adverbs. Nominalization is one of the fields in English language that are referred to as syntax. It has to do with developing skill in the manipulation of words, skill in the combination of words in different varieties in order to make sense. Now let's take a look at this sentence. Sentence 2 in the series. It says, Sandra always thinks that the stock trade involves displaying some stuff known as stock for sale. In this sentence, we've underlined the verb thinks. Now, when we nominalize, it has to do with paraphrasing a sentence. Paraphrasing a sentence in the way that the verb form used in the sentence, or the adjectival form used in the sentence, or the adverbial form used in the sentence becomes a noun. That means you use the noun equivalent of such other parts of speech. So nominalizing this sentence, we have here sentence 2, we now have in her thoughts. So the noun form of things is thought. In her thought, Sandra believed that in the stock market, a certain commodity known as stock was sold. So the verb things has been nominalized, and in this place we now have thought. Now, nominalization also has to do with being able to spell the nominal correctly. The nominal form derived from a verb, derived from an adjective, or derived from an adverb, will necessarily have a different spelling from the verb form or the other part of speech from which it is derived. Let us take a look at sentence 3. Bola consulted a doctor to have it diagnosed. Good. The verb here is diagnosed. Now let us rewrite this sentence. You can see that the sentences do not necessarily follow the same pattern, and yet we end up saying the same thing. What is important is that in the second sentence of each sentence, we're able to derive a noun form from the verb used in the previous sentence. It says, Bola consulted a doctor for diagnosis because she had a strange illness in her ears. And so, the noun form diagnosis is derived from the verb form diagnose. So we have nominalized diagnosed, making it diagnosis. Let's take another example, a fourth one. He refused to fix the broken windows. Kennedy was expelled from the college since he refused to fix the broken windows. Kennedy was expelled from the college. And so the verb we've used here is verb refuse. Now we can nominalize that verb. We say, if we say his refusal, we've already derived a noun from the verb refuse. His refusal to fix the broken windows led to his expulsion. Now can you notice that we have also derived a second noun form, a second nominal from the verb expelled. So the verb expel becomes expulsion, the noun form, while the verb refuse becomes refusal in this sentence. So we've nominalized these two verbs, from refuse to refusal and from expel to expulsion. His refusal to fix the broken windows led to his expulsion. Kate only made matters worse. Although she tried to push the car out of the mud, Kate only made matters worse. Let us see. Her trial would derive the noun trial from tried. Her trial, her effort. The word effort can also mean trial here. They are both nominals, they are both noun forms. Her trial to push the car out of the mud only made matters worse. Only made matters worse. And so you can see that although she tried, say her trial or her effort, although she tried to push the car out of the mud, Kate only made matters worse. Her trial or her effort to push the car out of the mud only made matters worse. In these 5 examples, we have nominalized verbs. Now let us nominalize some adjectives. We also try to derive noun forms or nominals from adjectives. Lavish reception. A lavish reception in an ornate garden. In this example, we have the adjective lavish. If we rewrite, someone can say the lavishness is a noun form derived from the adjective. The adjective lavish qualifies the noun reception. It answers the question, what kind of reception were the pilgrims given? Then the answer is lavish reception. You can say extravagant. You don't want to use lavish. Extravagant reception. Or you can say a superfluous reception. That which is superfluous, that which is extravagant, that which is lavish has been done to an extreme. We say it was too much. It was taken to an extreme. So that was why it is lavish. Now we say the lavishness of the reception. The lavishness of the reception impressed the coverage journalist. It impressed the journalist who covered the event. The lavishness, and lavish becomes lavishness when it is a noun form, and it is derived from the adjective lavish. It says, Adam had an uncommon admiration for twin babies. Now we look for another word, a noun form that will mean uncommon. If we say uncommonness, it is okay. The uncommonness of his admiration makes uncommon a noun. But here, uncommon is an adjective qualifying the noun admiration. If we say something like, people are awed by the uncommonness. By the uncommonness or by the peculiarity. By the peculiarity of Adam's admiration for twin babies. You see, in this example, we illustrate a fact. When you nominalize, the noun form you derive from another part of speech does not always come from that part of speech proper. What is important is that you are able to nominalize by using a noun form that has a meaning similar to the other part of speech you are nominalizing. For instance, in this example, we first of all nominalize uncommon with an adjective, so it becomes uncommonness. But we have also nominalized it to give us peculiarity, because that which is uncommon is peculiar in its own way, peculiar in a strange way. It is unique. So we can also talk about the uniqueness of Adam's admiration, the matchlessness of Adam's admiration, or some other words that imply that this is set aside. It is peculiar, it is unique in its own way. This means, it says, our dance captured the incipient text of foreign arts by our people. When anything is incipient, when it is fledgling, it is inaugural, it is in its inception, it's just beginning to happen. It is not old, it is just starting, so we say it is incipient, it is fledgling, it is inaugural. Are we making sense here? Good. So we talk about incipient tests that is just beginning to rise, that had not always been there. It is not every word, every noun, every adjective, every verb or adverb that can have another part of speech derived from it. For example, the word incipient, meaning just rising, has its equivalents like fledgling, like inaugural that I mentioned earlier on, but it doesn't have a noun form that can be derived directly from it. So there's not like incipientness. But there is novelty, which tells us in a noun form, in a nominal form, what incipient is saying as an adjective. Novelty derived from novel. When something is novel, it's an adjective, means it's new. It has not always been there. So when we talk about an incipient test, we mean a novelty test. Test that's still a novelty. It says the novelty of our test for foreign art forms borders on strangeness. It is something strange. The novelty of it all is strange. When something is heinous looking, we mean it looks savage, it looks dangerous, it looks barbarous, it looks intimidating, it looks bad, it looks monstrous, so to say. So we say, one of Paul's bosom friends had a heinous looking dog. A heinous looking dog. Now, if the dog was heinous looking, good, then we look for a word, a noun form that can mean the same in another sentence. Dog becomes simply a monster. The monster is a noun. It's derived from the adjective heinous looking. The heinous looking dog becomes a monster here as a noun. Paul's monster of a dog inspired fear in the entire neighborhood. In number 10, we have Jude's friends often avoided him due to his aggressive nature. The adjective is aggressive. Aggressive, and it qualifies the noun nature. So we cannot say his aggression. His aggression. So from the adjective aggressive, we derive the noun form aggression. His aggression scares most of his playmates away. His aggression scares most of his playmates away. Now let us take a few more sentences. Annie is meticulous in most of her undertakings. So the adjective qualifies the noun form Annie, which is someone's name. Annie is meticulous in most of her undertakings. Of course, the noun form is meticulousness. What does it mean to be meticulous? It means to be careful in handling issues, in handling people. Someone who is meticulous is methodical in doing something. The person has an eye for details in whatever he or she does. Her meticulousness gives Ami an age. Gives Ami an age over her coevals. Gives her an age over her coevals. Her meticulousness gives her an age over her coevals. Is philandrous, a fact which has won him many acquaintances. A man is philandrous if he loves the company of women. He enjoys staying around women because he wants to get attracted. He wants women to get attracted to him. We say such a man is philandrous. Now, a philandrous man is a philandra. It's called a philandra. So the philandra is the nominal form, or the noun form derived from philandrous. Bob is a philandra. Is a philandra. A fact which attracts many women to him. A fact which attracts many women to him. He is a philandra. Or we can say, using an adjective, that he is philandrous. He is philandrous, or he is a philandra. Philandrous, a man. Philandra, that's philandra, a man. Philandrous, the behavior of a man who is a philandra. Now let's conclude the nominalization of adjectives by taking the opposite attributes to philandrousness. And so you can see that the adjectival form, coquettish, we're saying because she is coquettish. That means coquettish qualifies the noun asabe or the pronoun she. Because she is coquettish, asabe has more men in her company than women. Good. Now rewriting this sentence, we have she is a coquette. So the noun form or nominal form of coquettish is coquette. She's a coquette, which is why she has a heart of men after her. And so with this, we come to the end of our lesson today. Remember that today we have talked about how to derive nominals or how to derive noun forms from other parts of speech like verbs and adjectives. Unfortunately, time didn't permit us to also talk about or give examples of adverbs that noun forms or nominals can also be derived from. But there will always be time, some other time, for us to go through this and give you more examples. Thank you for viewing.